see yes in the comment section. Is it chat? Yeah, in the chat, please type yes. Let me see how many yeses we have. You feel like you have more in you, but you haven't fully tapped into it yet. And for some of us, exactly, so many yeses. Yeah, that's not confusion. That's unused potential. And for some of us, we know we are capable of more, but we just don't know how to turn it into something meaningful. If you are in that category too, type yes. You know you're capable of more, but you don't know how to turn it into something meaningful, something profitable. Type yes too in the chat. So, okay, thank you. Okay, so we have lots of people sitting in this room, sitting on Goldmine. You're sitting on skills, you're sitting on experience, you're sitting on ideas, strengths, but for some reason you feel like that feels like Goldmine to you, but it hasn't been activated yet. So that's what we'll be doing today. We'll be looking at first of all the difference between Goldmine and Goldmine and how to activate it, understand what the skills are all about. And so let's get in. So Goldmine, your Goldmine is the result. Can we hear me? Or can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Let
ma'am.
me
We
get
can.
yes, let me get responses. Okay, good. Let not be as if I'm talking to myself. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Your Goldmine is the result, your income, your impact, your opportunities. On the slide, I have the wealth of skills, experiences, the ability that has been sitting inside of you the whole time. The Goldmine, that's the one ending with E. Goldmine, undetected, unnamed, unused. So for gold, gold doesn't change even if it's been buried on the ground. It doesn't stop being gold because it hasn't been dug yet. So for some of us, we have those things in us. It doesn't stop being what it is, but just that we haven't activated it, we haven't detected it. And for some, it's not named, so we don't even know what is called. But your Goldmine is what creates it. Your Goldmine is, sorry, let me minimize this one. Okay, your Goldmine is the moment you stop looking outward for validation and start looking inward for evidence. Is the decision to believe you carry value before the job offer, before the certificate. Okay. Can you see my screen? I'm not getting you. It's as if you're on your mic.
Yes,
You will be
yes,
getting
ma, we can
feedback.
see your
I like
screen.
hearing people's voices, please. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So I was saying, I said for Goldmine, is the decision to believe that what you carry has value before anyone confirms it, before the job offer comes, before your certificate comes, because you don't get paid for what you have, you get paid for what you know how to use. And unused talent, why am I moving faster than myself? Okay. For unused talent has no value in the marketplace. Okay. And so what we'll be doing today we'll be doing something simple but powerful. We are going to be identifying what you already have, refine it, and show you how to turn it into something productive, something valuable. And for some people, it might be something profitable. Because the truth is, you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience. And I'm going to show you how you've actually had those experiences. No matter the age range or the demography, the wherever you are, you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience. And by the end of this session, you start to see your own road. I'll tell you a story that happened recently. A friend of mine called me a few months ago. She wanted advice about immigration process and all that. And at some point in the conversation, I had to ask her what job experience was like. I want to be sure that I'm not talking to myself. People are still hearing me.
Yes, ma, we can hear
Okay,
you.
thank you. At least once in a while, let me be hearing voices. Okay, okay. So at some point in the conversation, I asked what our work experience is. She was quiet for a moment, and then she said, "Oh, I've never worked. I've I've been a full-time housewife, taking care of my children. My oldest child is 11 years old." And something stopped me. I said, "Wait, oh, your child is 11." She said, "Yes." And I said, "Then you've been a manager for 11 years." She was laughing and she was like, "Oh, Precious, I beg." I said, "No, let me tell you, let me be serious, let me break it down for you. Taking care of children, managing their development, their emotions, their education, that's human capital management. Running a home, the schedules, the meals, logistics, making sure everything works, thinking of even what to even cook in a day is already a lot. That's operations management. Budgeting, making things stretch, deciding what to spend, what to save, family vacation, a lot of things. That's financial management. And at the end of the call, she said something. She said, "You just made my day. I used to think I had nothing worth sharing." And she said something very, really profound that really stood out to me. She said, "I wish my husband was here to hear you say these words to me." And at that moment, I knew the problem is that people, it's not that people don't have skills. The problem is that we cannot see them, and they cannot translate them. They cannot find the language to make other people see what they already have. And I used to have this problem. That's why I'm so passionate about this topic, because all through my roles, I worked in banking for years, and all through my roles in banking, for all the positions that I had, it was people around me that was seeing what I had or what I was not seeing, that was telling me, "Oh, you can do this. Why not apply for this? You can do this. Why not apply for this?" I started as a bank teller, and within 4 months, yeah, I was moved to customer service. Before you know, I was already head of operations. So I had like two promotions within 2 years. It was my supervisor that was telling me, "Oh, you're underutilized there. You can do this. You have to do this. You're so organized. You have to do this." All right. So immediately, because of all those skills, I wasn't seeing it in myself. Somebody was out there seeing it for me. And so that's why we are here today. For some of you, you may not have someone who will tell you, "Oh, you have this, you have that." I remember one time my manager told me, "You have Cleopatra qualities." I didn't know what that meant. I had to go back home and start researching. "Oh, you can do this, you can do sales, apply for this." And that's how I was just moving so fast, because I had good people around me telling me or seeing what I was not seeing in myself. Okay, for some of you, you may not have people around you to tell you that. So that's why we're here. I'm here to hold the mirror up for you, so that you see what you already have inside of you and know how to use it, know how to translate it, know what language it is being called in the professional world or outside, or even share it, talk about it with people. All
Next
right.
stop,
So yeah,
Muslim at
now
Salem.
many people believe that they don't have special skills. Okay, I've talked about this slide. Oh, okay. Many people believe they don't have special skills. In reality, they simply normalize their strengths. I'm sitting on this one a lot. I'll tell you a lot of stories about this one. If people come to you for advice, that's a skill. If you organize things very well, that's a skill. If you explain things clearly, that's a skill. Your normal may be someone else's solution. Some things that we've already taken so casually, we've normalized it, but to some people it's difficult for them to do. Some people will be wondering, "Oh, how do you do this? How do you do that?" And to you, you're like, "It's easy," but it doesn't come easy for other people. I'll give you an example. I was asked to, sorry, I'll take the water a little bit. I was asked to give um I was asked to organize team lunch for my colleagues some months ago, and nothing big, just order food, everybody eats during lunch, coordinate the food, and that's it. But instead of just placing the order, I added a little detail. I labeled every meal on each person's name. So as I was making the order, I'll put the person's name. So let's say, for instance, Tracy, I'll put their name like that. That's how I placed the order. We have about 21 staff. So when the food arrived, everything was organized. Sorry. When the food came, everything was organized. But something profound stood out for me. Everybody was surprised as to how I did it. Like, "Oh, how come the food, everything is organized? We have everybody's name. We've been doing this thing for years." And but I just joined. So we'll be doing this thing for years. When they bring the food, we have to start sorting everybody's food and know what they ordered and all that.
Next stop,
But everybody's name from
Muslim
where the
at
restaurants where we ordered the food,
Westwood.
they had their name on it. It was something simple for me. As I was making the order, I asked them to, I instructed that they put each staff name on the package, and that's what I did. And their reaction was, sorry, really, really surprising. They were like, "Oh, they're commenting, that was thoughtful. How did you do that? How did you do that?" So me, it felt normal. It felt like common sense, because where I'm coming from.
Next stop,
If you have your name on your food,
the
they will eat
husband
your food,
at
let alone you don't have your name. So I was already used to, oh, everybody organize your thing, have your name on your food. When it comes, you take your part and you eat. Okay. But so that really made me feel like this is normal. The if what feels normal to you is actually, or what feels normal to you, so to other people it feels like a very big deal. We've just, because we have not labeled it yet. So that's more things I'll be talking about under the skills. Sometimes your advantage is so natural to you that you underestimate it. Your gold mine is not always big dramatic talent. Sometimes it's how you naturally think, how you organize, how you improve systems even without trying. That day I realized something, that I was not just organizing lunch, I was demonstrating how I think. And thinking is valuable anywhere. Your thinking is valuable anywhere. So what is skill? So back to the slide. What is skill? A skill is simply something you do repeatedly that produces results. So whatever you do, you've been doing anything for years, and I'll start showing you what these skills are all about, so that we don't start missing our daily habits with skills. Okay, so a skill is something you do repeatedly that produces results. There are broadly three categories of skills, or two, sorry, there are broadly two categories of skills and then one classification of skills. So we have hard skills. Hard
Next
skills
stop,
are technical skills, they are
the
tangible
husband
skills, the
at
things that we learn in
Goldmine.
classroom or structured environment, writing, mathematics, cooking, learning a language, data analysis. So those are hard skills. Then for soft skills is how we operate as humans, how we interact with one another. Things like interpersonal skills that are usually often called interpersonal skills. Is how we operate as humans. This is how, like, things like communication, empathy, problem solving, leadership, emotional intelligence. These are soft skills. And then there's another classification, and that's where we'll be dwelling more today. Another classification of skills, which is transferable skills. Transferable skills are skills that we have in one context, or we developed in one context, but we can apply it anywhere. Things like communication, things like leadership, things like problem solving, emotional intelligence, empathy. All right. It's not, it doesn't need classroom, it doesn't need a job title, it doesn't need anybody's permission. These are what we call transferable skills. Communication, you're able to explain something to a friend in a simple way. That's communication. And that skill is used in
Next
banking,
stop,
is used in tech, is
the
used in
husband
project management,
at
in
Lake
sales,
Edge.
in even in leadership. Problem solving is also another transferable skills. Something that you don't leave. These are something that you don't leave behind when you leave a job. For instance, you're working in a place and you've learned a particular skill, you've learned how to communicate with people, or you know how to, even from home, you know how to solve people's problem. Like anybody's issue, they're always the person that they come to. And so even if you go to a structured environment, you go into banking, for instance. I'll be using banking a lot because that's where I worked. You go into banking, for instance, that skill will follow you. You will not leave it behind. It's just like the way your character will follow you outside. All right. So that's the way the skills will follow you. A customer service skills was learned. Okay, I'll use my example. I learned my customer service skills in my mom's shop. But then I was just doing my thing. I didn't know it was called customer service. Helping my mom. Right from where we met her doing the business. So we grew up, we learned everything, how to help customers, how to help them. At times we package their things properly and then help them take the things to the car. Those are customer service. Somebody comes back, oh, I complained about something, oh, I bought this and this was not okay, and you help the person, you see the person through, you walk the person through the process. That's customer service skills. I learned that when I got into banking, that accelerated my growth. That made me had two promotion within 2 years. All right, just because of the skill I learned in my mom shop. So the skills that you built at home transfers to the workplace. The skills you built in church transfers into your
Next
career. Ah,
stop,
this one is a very big one.
the
Most
husband at
the things that, see,
Gateway.
let's take whatever we are learning in church. I know that most people that are here are Christians. Whatever you are learning in church, take it seriously. Most people learn public speaking in church, like stage performance or stage presence. Let me use stage presence. Let me not say performance. Stage presence. You see them, they'll say, come and lead worship, come and take praise. Sunday school teacher or children teacher. You started from children to you're teaching children. Before you know, you became Sunday school teacher. Most people
Next
started
stop,
like that. Okay, and then
Crossland
no matter the
at
stage that they are, they can
McLean.
speak, they can talk because you started from there. And those things are building, they are building skills in you, they are building confidence in you, it's building a lot of things in you. And you don't leave it in church. You also take it out to workplace. You take it into your personal life. You take it into your career and different places. Are we still together? Let me use Apostle Selma's word. Are we still together? Am I too
Yes,
fast?
yes, ma.
Yes, ma.
Am I too
We're
fast?
listening.
No, ma, no, ma.
No, no, no.
Okay, thank you. So the skills you build through your side hustle transfers into your business. We'll talk about this one a lot as we go on. I'll move fast because I want to take a lot of questions. I prefer more questions. If you let me dive in deeper. Okay. So what we are going to be doing today is finding your transferable skills, naming them, and learning how to
Next stop,
make the world see
Crossland
them.
at
And
Coronation.
before we go ahead, I'd like to tell you that your weakness can be your good mind. The things people complain about you for might be your greatest skill. And this one, I'm going to dwell more on this one. You talk too much. People say you talk too much. Things like, oh, people, you talk too much. Can't you just keep quiet? You do this too much. You do that too much. All right. That's public speaking ability waiting to be developed. That's a future facilitator. That's a presenter. That's a sales professional. That's a coach. A person that talks too much, when trained and focused, becomes a person who commands every room they walk into. Okay. Has anyone ever said something like, people always come to you with their problems? Everyone wants to tell you everything, or you are like magnets to people's issue. That's someone that has active listening skills. That's someone with emotional intelligence. That's the foundation of counseling. That's a coach. That's human resource. I'm speaking to somebody already. You know yourself. That's a coach. That's human resources. That's customer success, all in one person. That's leadership. People
Next
do not
stop,
bring their problem to just anybody.
Crossland
They bring their
at
problem to
Country
someone that
Lane.
they trust. They bring their problem to someone that is ready to listen. At times, you might not even be giving solution to the problem, but they just want to say it out. They just want you to listen, and that's a very good active listening skills. You need active listening skills in most career these days. Okay, that is rare and a very powerful skill. Has anyone ever told you you over explain things? You break everything down too much. You cannot just give simple answer. That's a teaching skill. The ability to take something complex and make it into something simple and understandable. It's one of the most valuable skills. And in fact, most content creators, that's what they're doing right now. They're able to something that looks so complex. They're able to break it down. Teachers have it, trainers have it, content creators have built their entire career around it. Great managers have it.
Next
Okay.
stop,
And that's something that
Crossland
you do
at
naturally. And you
Open.
say you don't have anything. No, you do have something. Okay. And has anyone ever told you you're too organized? I'm sitting on this table. You're too organized, you're too detailed, you notice everything. That's an operations manager. That's quality control. I'm just telling you what the name is called in professional settings. That's project management. Companies
Next
pay people
stop,
very well to do that.
Crossland
Okay. Has
at
anyone ever
Meadow.
said, there's this one people used to say, you're too sensitive? Yeah. You feel things too deeply. You always notice when something is wrong with someone. That's emotional intelligence. And this one is very, 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 very key. That's empathy. And empathy is the single most important skill in leadership, in healthcare, social work, coaching, and building any business that works with people. Anything that works with people, when you must have. In fact, if you don't have emotional intelligence, you're going to be having back and forth clash with people. Okay, and the world. And these things are the things that people complain about. People say they are problems. But I'm telling you today that these were always your gold mind. You just needed someone to show you how to dig it. Are we seeing our skills already? Eh? Are we seeing our skills already? Sound mind.
Yes, ma.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma.
Okay.
I know
Oh.
you're talking to me.
Okay. Oh. So we're
Next
on the fifth
stop,
slide. Okay, we're just few
Crossland
slides to
at
go.
Rock.
few slides to go. Now, is it possible for you to share a link? I want us to open a workbook. I have a workbook. We'll be working together, so there's no sleeping time. You have to carry your pen and paper. And if you have a notes app, you can use your notes app. Okay, so we're just going to be checking. I talked about this. Okay, now we're here. We're going to check. We're going to go through the workbook and see the skills that have been hiding in every area of our life. And I'm going to
Please, straight it, push it back. Flip on the circles.
Hello? Hello, Ma, can you hear me?
Was everybody muted before?
Yes, someone's mic was on. I had to mute everyone.
Okay. Can you see?
You are back.
Are you guys seeing my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma.
Okay. I just want to be sure that we are together. Okay, and we're here now. Okay.
Next stop.
Do we have the link to the workbook already? I'm not seeing the chat actually. Sorry. I don't know why I can't
Yes,
see the chat. But we have the link there. So we can open the workbook. I'm going to take us through 4 areas of our lives where skills has been hiding. And I know everybody one way or the other must have gone through these 4 areas, from home, from school to church, and our personal life. Okay. So
Next stop.
we're going to reflect on the 3 questions first before we go into the workbook, and then go through the environment where we have acquired these skills. What do people consistently come to me for? You can write it somewhere. I don't think I have it on the slide. What do people consistently come to me for? What do I do effortlessly that others find difficult? You can answer the questions later, but just note it down somewhere. What challenges have I overcome? You've overcome some challenges, some things that people have had difficult time. So people have gone through some things that you went through but did not survive. People have gone through the fire but did not come out. Okay. Do you have the questions already? So the first one is, what do people consistently come to me for? What do I do effortlessly that others find difficult? What challenges have I overcome? Your past struggles are not just experiences, they are assets. Someone is currently facing what you already overcome and is looking for guidance. Okay?
Next stop. Rosslyn.
Are we together?
Bassett.
Do you have our workbooks now?
Yes, ma, we do.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I'll be asking a lot of questions, so I'm not nervous. Okay, so we are going to go through 4 environments. The first one is your home. 4 places in your life where skills have been hiding. And by the time we finish, you will have more materials for your CV, your profile, or wherever you want to put it. The first environment is your home. Your home has been a training ground your entire life. You're just not getting paid for it, but training has been happening. Who has ever cooked or prepared meals for their family regularly?
Rosslyn.
That's planning. That's time management. That's resource allocation. That's execution under pressure. Okay, the same energy, the same skills that you need to do this is the same thing you need when you're in a professional setting or when you're in a structured environment. Because anyone who has cooked for family knows that that's not a simple thing. A lot of things goes into it. I'm not just saying any imamba food for family. That requires skills, and we've seen a lot of people build their career on just by cooking. a lot of people. I know a lot of people that built a career just by cooking. Okay, because anyone who has cooked for family knows that's not a simple skill.
Next stop,
That requires a lot.
Boston
Who has
at
ever taken care of a
50.
younger sibling? You fed them, you helped them with their homework, you settled quarrel, settled arguments, made sure everything was okay. In fact, some of you are even in school, they are calling you in school that, oh, this is what is happening. You call your brother or talk to him or do that too. That's conflict resolution. There's no conflict resolution that's more than that one. That's leadership, that's responsibility, that's patience, that's emotional intelligence. You're a manager. Your team has just been your brothers and your sisters. Okay. Then who has ever managed your home when your parents were away? You made decisions, you kept everything running, you solved problems. That's operations management. That's exactly what the head of operations, they used to call me head of problems because I was the one solving all the problems in my office that time. Okay, they said my HOP is not head of operations, so it's head of problems. That was the name they were calling me. Every problem, somebody did this, they did not do that. Somebody did not do that one. Everybody will come to my table. Okay, so you've just been doing it for free. The whole time you'll be doing it for free. Who has ever had to make money stretch? You work within a tight budget and still you make things work. That's financial management. I think we'll have a session on financial management. Let me not talk too much on this one. We'll have a session on financial management. I don't know when your soundman will let me know. That's resource planning. That's
Next
creative
stop,
problem solving. You've been a
Boston
manager, you've been a
at
leader, you've
Kennedy.
been an
Oh,
operations officer your whole life, but you just did not have the title. Do we have our workbook? Are we following what I'm doing? And now we're going to the second environment. So from your home, you've learned a lot of skills. You've learned planning, you've learned time management, you've learned budgeting, you've learned leadership, and you've learned operations from your home. And so the next environment will be our school. On your workbook, you see that
next
too
stop,
on the workbook. I don't know if everybody has checked,
Boston
but
at
let's see.
Gerard.
School was never just for exams. Every role you played, every group you led, every deadline you survived, they are all professional skills. All of it. You were once class rep, you were a prefect, you're a student leader of any kind. That's leadership, that's representation, that's communication, that's conflict resolution. You're elected and selected because people trusted you. Out of everybody in your class, you're the one that they asked to be the group prefect, or they asked to do this, or they asked to do that, because people trust you, and trust is a skill. Whoever helped a classmate understand something the teacher could not explain well.
Next
You,
stop,
you taught something and you simplify the
Boston
thing. So
at
teaching,
Elliott Nicholson.
simplification, patience. In fact, it's not easy to teach somebody. You mean it shows that you are patient to be able to even teach somebody and keep it. There's some people that you have to explain and explain several times before they get it. That's patience. And by the way, if you could explain it better than a teacher, that's mastery level understanding and communication skill as well. Who has ever organized something, an event, party, trip, competition? That's project management. That's event management. That's logistics coordination.
Next
That's
stop,
teamwork.
Boston
Okay, people are
at
paying event planner. My
Clinton.
cousin is about to do wedding. They're looking for event planner somewhere. I think, well, we are found today, Sha. For somebody you can successfully do events and then you're not making money out of it. I don't know why, Sha, but we'll learn how to do that today. Who balance school with side hustle, family responsibilities, or anything else happening at home? That's time management, that's prioritization, that's resilience, that's adaptability. I'm just giving you all the names, the things that we have been minimizing. I'm giving you all the names that these skills are called, and we think we don't have anything. It's for us to put them together and make it real. Those are exact words companies use in their job description. They said, oh, we are looking for someone who is resilient, someone who is adaptable, someone who has time. And you look at the thing, you're like, oh no, I don't have all these things. No, you do have it. Okay. So it's just for you to name them and then put them properly. You have been a project manager, a teacher, a coordinator, classroom just did not give you the title yet. And then the third environment is our church. The church is a very big one. I don't know if I'm pronouncing church or if I have accent. Is it shush or
Next
church? I
stop,
don't know. Church. Okay.
Boston
So
at
your church,
Goldminds.
your community, your social space. For those of you that are not in church, even your mosque, your social space has been teaching you skills. And some of the most powerful professional skills were built in places like church. And we've seen when you speak to some of these or interview some of these great singers, ministers, and you hear them say, "I started from church. I started from church. I started from church." And those skills that they learned in church follow them into their career, and they are building their life on it. They are building big brands, big profession on it. You sing in the choir, you play instruments, you lead
Next
worship.
stop,
That's a skill. I saw
Rosman
something
at
on Sound My
student.
Status recently. Was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? About someone is a guitarist. Is it guitarist? They call them guitarist. And then he has packaged his skill, and then he wants to teach people for 100,000. Imagine, even if he gets 3 people in a month, imagine how much that is. Just 3 in a month, and probably doing something else. And if you even ask deeper where he learned that skill, you'll be surprised that he learned that skill in church. He didn't probably go to
Next
pay
stop,
somebody or anything. He learned it in church and he mastered
Rosman
the skill
at
and is able to
student.
now sell it. Let me sell that sell. Yeah, he's able to now sell the skill. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. So that's performance, discipline, teamwork, emotional intelligence, the ability to move a room with your presence. That's not small. Some people can move a room with their presence. When they march in, everybody, the eyes turns. That's a skill. Who has volunteered? You've led a group. The volunteers of all volunteers of Sound Mind, all of you have skills. You've led groups, you've organized events, that's leadership, that's event management, that's community building. Who has ever helped people resolve conflict in church? Your choir people. The husband used to do this one a lot. Is there? Okay, that's negotiation, that's mediation, that's empathy, that's
Next
communication.
stop,
These are skills that
Rosman
lawyers,
at Park.
HRO professionals, counselors spend years trying to develop, and you have it naturally. Some people they study something and they got into the workforce before they started learning those skills. While some of us we already have those skills, and then probably once we now even do a course that align with that skill that we have, you are going to excel. You're just naturally just going to excel. That's the good thing about it. You're naturally going to just going to excel. Who has ever sold anything for church, community, tickets? You sold food, you've raised funds for an event. That's sales, that's persuasion, that's customer service, that's entrepreneurship. The best salespeople in the world started by selling something for a cause. And by the way, if you want to be rich, you have to sell something.
Next stop,
If you want to be rich, you must be selling
Rosman
something.
at
You have been
Christian.
doing community relations, event management, and sales. You just did it in a different uniform. Okay? Okay. And then the last one will be our personal life. This is the deepest session. Okay, the last environment, our personal life, aside also, whatever we've done, whatever life has thrown at us, one way or the other, it's about everything else. It's the side also. It's self-teaching. You went on YouTube to teach, you learned something, and that's what you are using. That's what you are using to make money today. Or that's when you learn how to do a business, or you learn how to do a skill. There are some things I learned on YouTube that actually helps me a lot. That's figuring it out. The bouncing back. You went through something and you came back. You had a tragic
Next stop,
event. You had some kind of
Rosman
things and
at
you came back.
Circle.
Who has ever run a small business? You sold food, hair, makeup, anything, kerosene, whatever. That's entrepreneurship. No matter how small the business is, that's sales, that's customer service, that's marketing, that's financial management. You run a small business, it doesn't matter how small. You hear people say Warren Buffett started business at 6. Have you ever wondered what he was selling at 6? He was selling chewing gum, candies, Coca-Cola bottle, but he has always added to his profile. That thing is on his profile. He started business at 6. He's always on his profile. So it doesn't matter how small your business is, you run a business. Who has ever taught you've ever taught something, you learned something on YouTube, Google. I said this one before. Just figured things out. That's someone that's self-taught learning. You're curious, right? Some things you're just out of curiosity. You just like, oh, how did they do this thing? Let me go learn it, and then you start learning it. That's showing initiative. That's adaptability. The ability to teach yourself is one of the most valuable skills.
Going this way.
in this world that's
Yeah.
that's really really changing fast. Some people, you employ them and you want your employer, like everybody's learning. So somebody else said it recently. He said everybody's learning on the job. You don't have to be perfect before you know. Once you get there, that's when you learn. And then the ability for you to now be curious and use your
Are
initiative
you
to learn
cold?
fast, that's how you grow.
Huh?
Okay, and then you just keep
Huh?
learning. You
I
never
want
stop
to
learning.
pee.
You never stop learning. And
Okay, when we
now
get there,
I
we
want to
go.
ask
Okay.
something
I
really
want
really deep.
When we get there, you keep.
Who has ever
Okay.
gone through something hard,
We're almost there.
like a failure, rejection, a loss, something everything felt like was falling apart, and you kept going anyway? That's resilience. And resilience is the ability to absorb the heat and keep moving. It is one of the most sought after qualities any employer in the world is looking for today. Okay. I know I'm seeing some chats, but I can't actually see them. I'm seeing some chat. Sammy, I don't know. I saw Sammy. Okay, thank you. I don't know what that is, but I saw your name just popped up here. You thought you were just surviving, but you were building. I think I have it on the workbook that those things that you went through, they're actually your curriculum. It's just for us to pick the lessons we learn from this thing and then translate it and then be thriving with it. Okay. Now we're coming to the end. The translation formula. Now this is the big one. Now we already know we have all these things. I have these skills. I can do this. I know what I do have. But how do I translate it? How does this thing work? What do I do with it? You've been doing the work. You've been writing things down. I'm on this one. I've been writing things down. My journal, everything is full. I'm always writing plenty, plenty things. All the things I want to do, I'm writing them down. I've been writing things down, and I hope by now what we need to do is how do we sell ourselves? Yeah, that's the word. You've discovered the skills, and then you don't know how to talk about them, and this is what we call sell yourself. Then we'll say, oh, sell yourself. So talk about yourself. Give yourself value. Sell yourself simply means you're convincing other people. You're convincing probably your employer, your clients, or
Thank
you
you.
want to sell something
You're
to
welcome.
somebody, for instance. So how do you
I'm just
convince this person that, oh, what you're buying, what they'll get value from what they're buying? So that's the same thing. You're
sorry.
selling yourself. You're selling yourself is you're effectively
Huh?
convincing other people, such as your
Huh?
employer, clients, of your worth,
No?
your
Wait.
skills, or your potential. I'm into
I'm coming.
graphic design. So how do I compel someone that, oh, I can do this thing? Okay, so that is what selling yourself means. People still say in their interview, I've not worked anywhere before, or I don't have skills, or they just don't know how to place it. And that's where the translation formula, we're going to be talking about the translation formula. So it's simply what you did, what skill it was, and how to say it. What you did, what skills, and how to say it. So on the slide, what you did, for instance, you've helped your mom in your shop. So for me, I helped my mom in my shop. So how do I say it? What skills did I learn helping my mom in her shop? That was retail operations. That's customer service. So if I need to say it professionally, or I need to tell anybody, I say I have experience in retail operations and customer service. I have organized church youth program. Some people will say, not it's not what organized church. No, if you say it this way, it does not look like you just organized church program. Okay. So what have you learned from this thing that you've done? Event coordination, team leadership, and if you want to say it in a professional setting, or even say it to your friends or colleagues, is I have experience coordinating events and leading teams. That comes on your profile already. You've managed your siblings. That's leadership. That's resource management. I have demonstrated leadership and resource management. Okay. And so you've learned something on YouTube. Let's say you learned graphic design on YouTube. I taught myself graphic design on YouTube. How do I say it? I say I have self-directed learning with proficiency in graphic design, or I'm a self-directed learner with proficiency in graphic design. So whatever it is, you learn how to make hair from YouTube. People learn different things online, and you're surprised, like, oh, how did you do this? How did you do that? So that in alone is a skill. All right, you just don't have the language to fix it. Okay, and so your homework today will be we are done. Oh, thank God. What do I have? Okay. 2:54 already. Jesus. Why you thought it was long? Okay. So your homework will be you write down you list what you've done in your home, school, church, community, in your workbook.
You're
For
coming.
some people, I may be asking you to submit your workbook. some people, and they'll be asking you to submit your workbook. You write them down. That's your gold mine. Just those three things. That's your gold mine. That's where your story begins.
When we get to
Okay.
where we're going
So
to,
all these things are
you
just
go
being your
quick.
curriculum. And now you have what you need to know.
It's right.
So now we know everything. We can translate it. How do we turn it into value? How do we turn it into value? How do we make money out of it? How do we make it profitable? How do we make it something valuable? How do we make it something? That's what next month will be all about. So for next month, looking at how to turn skills into value. Is it me? Okay. So for next month, we'll be looking at how to turn the skills into value, how to make it profitable. So we've just been sitting, all of us have been sitting on gold. But right now, we have to make that gold work for us. So having a skill is not enough. It's the value that creates opportunity. It's so what we're learning next week will be how do I transform this skill into value? All right. Some of the things we'll be looking at is clarity, define what you do clearly, and the application of it and everything of how to turn these skills that we have identified today. We have identified it, so that's the discover. We've owned it. We now know that okay, this is what I do, this is what I know how to do. So what do I do with it? That's what we'll be learning next week. Okay, you're not empty, you're not behind, you are unexcavated. That's the end of today's session. Question, question, question. Do we still have time for question?
Yes, ma, we do. We do.
Okay, please.
Well,
Do
let's go.
we understand it? First of all, let me even ask. Do we understand what I explained?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Question.
Yes.
Thank you. Can I see the chat? I haven't seen what's happening. I don't know why I can. Okay. Okay, okay, okay.
Please, if you have a question, you can just unmute your mic and go ahead. If you have a question, if you can't speak up, you can write on the in chat room.
See where we're going to. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to cut my hair at the barber shop.
Can you hear me? If you have a question, you
If
can
you have a
type down.
question, unmute and ask me your question. Please go through your workbook. Make sure everybody read it. I will just randomly pick somebody that is reading workbook and I'll work the person.
Stop jumping. Wait up.
Ensure that you fill your workbook. You don't know if I'll. Oh, okay. I drop your question here, Sammy. You cannot be shy. Oh, we are not many now. Nobody is seeing your face. But ask your question. Tinubu has taught me a lot. You explain that. What does it mean?
Okay, I think I'll go first. Thank you
Okay.
very much, Ma. Thank you very much to everybody that have connected. Okay, my question is this: what do we do to unappreciated skills? You mentioned that we learn skills from our services in our community, even our personal lives. Now, what do we do to, because the human mind works in a particular way. Anything that is not appreciated has a
Mm,
way of leaving us or has a way of just dying a natural death. So,
okay.
how do we hold on to unappreciated skills, especially when our environment does not support or cherish that gold mine that we have. You gave a particular example. Um, when someone talks a lot
Oh, someone's. Okay.
and
Is
that
everything
person
little
is a
okay?
coach, yeah, you gave some examples. I can't remember now. Now, so what if the person's environment keeps telling the person to keep quiet, to not speak, to not act?
Okay.
Would that person not turn that good man into something else? That's my
Yes.
question. I think Sammy also has a question as well.
Huh?
You
Okay.
can take both.
Let me see Sammy's question and see.
Yeah.
Good question. I'm going to answer this your question, Sammy. Wait. Let me answer Sandman's question first. Okay. So what Sandman asked me, I think in fact that was me, because I remember growing up that my mom used to tell me, my grandfather would say, "Giave o man no go." What it means is keep quiet. You're not of the age to start talking. I was always talking too much, right? But they were always telling me, keep quiet, keep quiet. And for some reason, it just died a natural death until recently. I started admiring people speak. I see people speak and I admire. I think I was telling someone recently. He was telling me that I just admire speakers. And deep down, it wasn't just a sheer admiration, it was just something inside of me calling for expression. Okay. So if your environment does not give you a good landing, first of all, I don't know why our environment is like that. A lot of us, things have died a natural death just because of the environment that we have, but we would not let that deter us. So the first thing is you have to speak up for yourself. Okay, you have to speak up for yourself. That's why naming
Don't
them
put
to is
anything
you
with.
that will give value to whatever that you have. If you don't give value to what you have, people around you will not see it valuable. Do you understand? So you give value to whatever you have. It is the value that creates the opportunity. So if it's for you to see, there's some people that they need to do something, they have to block their friends, their family members, because they needed to do something. So people did a lot of things without even telling their family. If it demands that, I will support it as far as for a good cause. Like, just be doing your thing without letting them know. By the time you blow,
Don't
there's
worry,
someone
I'll
that said that
touch it.
recently. I think it was this guy.
I'll
What's
be
his name?
fine.
Aproko doctor. That he didn't tell his dad did not know what he was doing until he was already excelling. People were already hearing about him before his dad heard it. Okay, so if he gets to that point, you might want to take that course. But first, you have to give value. You don't have to minimize what you have. You have to give value to what you have. And I think it's a lot better nowadays, because before now, some skills that people were wanting to go into, your parents will not let you want to do it. Some people that want to do makeup years ago or years
Yeah.
before now, they come and say, well, makeup for
Wait
what?
for that.
But now people are now, if there's a course like, oh, somebody's doing makeup, your parents will want to encourage you. I don't know if there are still parents that don't
No,
do
no, don't.
that,
I said don't touch
but
anything.
I've seen lots of parents encourage their children to do that. Okay, so first of all is you
Yeah,
um creating that value, and then making sure that people around you see the value of what you have. You can't minimize it. You can't expect other people to value what you don't value. So once you value it, people will naturally do follow suit and follow through. But if you have
come on, take
shown
them.
value and your environment is still not accepting it, you have to move. Jesus had to move. They said the prophet is not welcome in his hometown. Jesus had to move. I'm not encouraging you to move or what not, but move in the sense that they have to not be aware. If that's what you think, that's a good cause that you need to fight for. They have to not be aware. If you want to block people, block people. That's why you have block on your phone. Or that's why if you want to hide it, hide it. Some people they've I've had people that they went to school, they had a skill, but they know that when they come back home, their parents will not support. They just stayed back and then they're doing their thing over there. Okay, if it's for a good cause, yes, fine, go ahead and do it. I don't know if that answers your question, Samuel.
Thank you very much, ma. Yes, it does.
Okay, and so I'll go to the next question for Sammy. Sammy says most organizations expect to see previous firms who have worked. Okay, one has worked with to gain experience. How would you their skill polish their skill length from the places you've mentioned? Okay, so I think yesterday I helped someone do something. The person was applying for a baking assistant position, but the person has never worked in like a defined or a structured bakery or anything. And I had to put independent baker and then name all the skills. It's the same skills, but you probably does not have a structured environment. I mean, am I right? Is that what you're asking me now? You don't have a structured environment, or you've never worked. You have all these skills, but you've never been opportune to to do it in a structured environment. So what you do, you put it under skill-based section. So you don't put it under experience. So on your, if you are putting it on your resume, for instance, it will be under skill-based. You will do a skill-based CV. So instead of listing your jobs and at the top, you lead on with your experiences with the skills category. So for instance, um you put under core competencies. So we call them core competencies. You put it under core competencies, and then you write it. For instance, you learned graphic design on your own, or you have a customer service ability or whatever. You put it under skill base. You put your core competencies under there, and then you list those skills under there. If it's to name, you can put it as independent, whatever. I don't know if that answers your question. Okay, if it's for Sammy, I may want to walk you through it. Yes, I may want to walk you through it. If you have a CV that, or if you have a CV that you've created, I can walk you through it later after the session, and then we can look at it together. But basically, you put it under core competencies. If you don't have like professional experiences, you just put it under core competencies and you list out all the skills. Do you understand? Okay. And then, oh, yeah, it's plenty. Because if I tell an interviewer that I learned a skill and I ask where I learned it from, I would sound, no. Okay. Yeah, it wouldn't sound, for some recruiter, it wouldn't sound absurd. It's for you. That's why you have to translate it properly. So if you're able to translate it, I'll walk you through it. If you're able to translate it properly, it won't sound absurd. Recruiters don't want to know where you learned it. As far as you're able to prove that you know it and you can execute it where you are. The skills I learned in banking in Nigeria, I'm using it here. And they don't want to know whether it's Nigeria or anything. As far as I have it, I can show that I can use it. I use it here. Somebody that learns graphic design, no matter where you learned it, as far as your work can prove it, you can speak about it. Most especially speaking about it. You yourself has to be confident enough speaking about it, and then people will buy into it. Okay? And I would like to ask a question. How do you make your weakness your greatest strength, especially when you keep pushing, but still seeing those I'm not reading it, sir, but still seeing those physical improvements? Oh, sorry. Almost Jemima. Is it? Are you saying you're not seeing physical improvements? I don't get the last part. Okay. Jemima, I would like you to get the last part. Okay, not seeing required improvement. Okay, I'll take your question again. So, how do you make your weakness greatest strength, especially when you keep pushing, but you're not seeing required improvement? Okay, I'll tell you something here. Growth is boring. Growth is slow. So even if, as far as your daily habits or whatever you are doing to improve it, you are doing it every day. You definitely, it's compounding. You not see. So see, that's one thing. That's why for growth, you have to keep growing, because you know it's just like when we used to read. Then we go and tell my dad that we are finished reading. My dad will say, "Yeah, they don't used to finish reading. You don't finish reading. It's continuous. Okay, so growth is boring. Your development is boring. It's slow. It keeps compounding. So it's when people start seeing, you yourself, you notice. But I'll see your question. I hope I'm answering your question right. How do you make your weakness your greatest strength, especially when you keep pushing, but not seeing required improvement? As far as you keep pushing, you are doing the right thing. You're in a structured environment like this. That's why what Sandman is doing is really, really, very appreciative, because if a lot of people do not have the opportunity to be in a space like this. If you're in a space like this, you keep hearing things like this. The things that you keep hearing, the things that you keep seeing will change you. And you will not see it, like it will not show, but something is happening in you. Something is happening with your mindset. There's already a mindset shift. Okay, so you just have to keep pushing. And whatever you want to see, for every action you want to take, I think James Clear said something. He said, for every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. So as far as you are taking that step every day, that change you are doing every day, the improvement will come physically. You want to elevate anything, focus. There was something I thought about focus. For you to do anything and be successful, you have to focus. for anything that gets your attention can get your money, can get your value, can get your time. So if you want to learn or master anything, have deep focus. Focus on something. This is one thing I want to improve. Focus on that one. So don't do too many things. Just pick one. Okay, this is one I want to achieve. Even if it's 1 year you want to set for it. This is one thing I want to improve on. This is one weakness I want to turn into strength. So be in a structured environment. Focus on that one thing and then master it. And then before you know, people will start telling you, oh, you have changed, all right? So that's it. Would you remember, did I answer the question? As far as you are doing the right thing, ensure that you are doing the right thing, because people can still be doing wrong thing and hoping that to see changes. No, ensure that if you need to speak to someone about it, let's know that you are doing the right thing. Okay, you can speak to someone, you can speak to me about it. Ensure that you are doing the right thing. If you do the right thing consistently, there will be improvement. There's no how. There will be improvement. Hi, Miss Precious. I'm sorry I joined late, so I'd like to ask who wants to start up a little business, or okay, or to be an entrepreneur, but do not have a startup or rather capital, someone to sponsor. What can such person do? Okay. First of all, you are your capital. Okay. Blessing James. That's the name of my friend. James Blessing. My phone name is James. Your name is Blessing. Hope he's not the one here. Okay. So first of all, you are your capital. And I like to see capital as this. It depends on the kind of business that you want to do. Is for if it's monetary capital you're looking for, you have to show value before people will invest in you. You don't have capital, but you have a phone. That's why you're able to join. So I don't know the kind of business that you want to do, but I'll use one business for instance as an example. I'm going into a food business. Maybe I want to start selling food. I want to start cooking food, and I don't have money to start. But normally, I cook my own food at home, right? I have my phone and I video what I'm cooking. I kind of video, take pictures, or write out food tips and everything, and I post it. Okay, and I post. Oh, on Saturday I'll be launching jollof rice dodo and stewed chicken. Hope somebody's not hungry now. Jollof rice dodo and stewed chicken. You just keep posting. You probably have a picture of it somewhere. You can pull it online. You can a lot of things. You can pull it online, make a video of it, and post it, and say that. I'm just giving an instance. I don't know if this kind of business that you want to do, but I'm just saying I can give you lots of instances. And just put on Saturday. This is the menu for Saturday. Order now. Order ends by Thursday 8 p.m. for instance. And then maybe one or two. You get one or two. Somebody chats you. See, if you're in this room, encourage your friends. You have friends in this room, and your friends will post something. You're not there. We'll get there. So that is the next week topic. Okay, for instance, I don't know if you're getting it, James. So you post it. You post it on Monday. Post it on Tuesday, Wednesday. You keep saying order. Just keep on. I'm just giving instance how you can raise capital. And then people, finally, maybe you get like 2 or 3 people that say, oh, Saturday, jollof rice and chicken. Yes, how much is it? You give them amount, 4,000 or 3,000. Payment validates order. They pay. That's why you have to be trustworthy. They pay. And once they pay, you use the money that they paid you. You go and buy ingredients, you cook it, and you deliver the food on Saturday. Next week is moi and something. What do you say? Moi and bread, moi and akara. Or just another recipe again. Oh, delivery is on Saturday. You start posting during the week. So during the week you get orders. I'm already giving somebody business idea now. You start posting. People start sending their orders. Ensure that they pay. Payment validates order. And then you gather the money. On Friday, you go do your thing. You prepare your food. Saturday, you supply. So that's one way. So you are using people. I think it's called affiliate. No, there's one called affiliate. I'll explain affiliate as well. So you are using people's money as capital now to do your own business. It's even the same thing. If you want to sell hair, you want to sell anything, you have online pictures online, or you can go to a shop. You can go to a shop, take a picture, post it. Take a picture, post it. Oh, I like this top. Oh, you take a picture, you post it. Bed sheet, whatever you want to sell, you take a picture, you post it, and then that's what they call pre-order. Most of those pre-order that you see, they don't have it handy. They don't have it handy. people now pay, you use that money, you go and buy, you get your profit inside, and that's how you do one business. So waiting for capital to come, because of the kind of environment that we are, we may not get it. So outside Nigeria, you see other organizations or people supporting small businesses. They give them small loans, SMEs, and all that. But you may not have that. But what you have, you are the capital. You are the one to know how to put these things together and make money out of it. So you're using people's money. For some, maybe affiliates. What you see people in New Benin, I don't know if, yeah, we are Benin people now. You see people in New Benin, they don't have a shop, but they are calling customer. They will go and stand there. Come, bros, come my shop, come my shop. They go there. The person they sell for, like, I'm a customer, for instance, and somebody comes to bring me to another person that sells to that owns a shop. Okay, so when they finish their business, they give me a commission. That's affiliate. That's what affiliate marketing is. You're selling somebody else's goods, and so you can start from there and start gathering your capital. So we'll do. I think I'll do more on this one on when we're talking about financial management. I think that should be on the next. I don't know if it's next month or next 2 months, but that's on that one. That's for that. Do we have another question? Jemima, did I hit something for you? I know it's not Jemima. Blessings. Did I hit something? Mm-hmm. Okay. Where is New Benin? New Benin market. Sammy, which are you in Asaba? Ah, New Benin market. Ah, you've just been to New Benin market. Okay, thank you. So that's affiliate. That's one way to you're selling people's products, or they're doing pre-order, or if you have people that can invest in your business. So that's what you have to show. You have to prove that what you are doing has value. You can sew, you can make hair very well, but you don't have business to make a shop, to own a shop. Then start doing mobile. Post
Say
it.
what?
This is what I can do. You go to people, be sure, but that one you be safe. You try and be
Oh,
safe.
I'm
Go to
listening to
people's house and
something.
make there. Some people don't have a shop, but they are making money. You
Remember, I
go to
was the
their
one that
house and
tested you this
make
morning.
hair. Okay, you're sewing. You don't need to probably, if you have a machine, as far as you have a machine, look for one way. Save money. Save money. Save money. We're going to do financial management. Save money. Buy a machine. Sew from your house. You don't need the shop. Most businesses now leverage on social media. Leverage on social media. We'll talk about that one. Leverage on social media. Okay. Any more question? More question. More question. I get somebody a business idea today. Start so you can cook very well. Post it. Post it. Present it very well. Ensure that your food tastes well. Post it. Get order. People will pay. Write it there. Payment validates order. And once they pay, you deliver and price it very well. Go and check how to price food. Any more question? Hey, we spent too much time on 18 minutes past 3. The room is quiet. Can we unmute and speak?
We can hear you.
Everywhere is quiet. I don't like it.
It's raining. It's raining in some part of Nigeria.
No question.
Okay. Oh. Any more question?
I don't think if anyone has a question, can just drop it in the
Sammy, I would
in-call
like to
chat
see.
room.
Sammy, I would like to see your workbook. I'll send you my email. I'll send you your workbook to my email. I'll scan it. Okay. Okay. Good. So work through together.
Hope I'll be getting the slide, ma.
Oh, you need. Yeah, sure. I can send you the slide. You need the slide. I
Yeah.
can send you the slide.
Yes, I do. I do. We need the slide, ma.
Okay. No problem.
We give me the slide.
Okay, so Kelly, Andrew, we answered your question already. So I think we answered everybody's question. Any more question? Anything that we need to talk about? Okay, I'll send you my email. Let me put it here. Perfect. Send me your workbook. Okay, I sent you my email. That's it. You can send your workbook and we can work through together. Thank you. Any other question? So, are we done? Before we go, I don't know, Sandman did not do justice to that thing I wanted. Let me do this. Let me, 1 second. So this one will be our goal. Stop sharing. Okay.
He must say, boy, this thing more complicated than it seems. Because he must say with him, it go through smoothly. No, he says, you can handle it. Little big things and then coming back. So I'll clear the text. I'll tell them to the end and try to read it. Then they know. But then it's my situation different. Because I am in a victim of God. It's not like one of them things here. I don't know this, that.